ready to go, and there was just nothing really left to counter pick against that.
I would have.
AQL could have been a good pick, even that. But
or the other option is to let steej take the Doom and then take the Eisen for yourself. But definitely not a great scenario for a player. Just waiting for steej to get online and get this started.
Well, after looking at our picks and bans here, what do you make of all this? Who do you favour?
Like, putting me in... Honestly, I reckon steej has got the better of the pick bans, and especially after seeing that last match with how Slash and Death Knight went against the Anarchy and the BJ. But definitely not a major advantage. I think the Ruins is definitely going to be interesting, and Deep Embrace, if we get to it, those are definitely not your typical matchups.
Oh, so that's what I was just thinking. It's like the first three maps are very, very common maps, very common matchups, right? You see this, maybe not so much the Blood Covenant, a little bit more out of the ordinary, but especially the Awoken and the CK. But yeah, I think it comes into play really in these final two maps where you get your champ pick start getting a little bit out of there, and it shows you, how well players can A, play around sort of bigger map pool, and B, how good their champ diversity is, right? Like, you can be the best player in a single champion, but if your opponent knows that, they're just going to ban it or pick it away from you, and then where you go from there. So that's why it's important to have that sort of champ variety, allowing you to play on all these other maps. Mm-hmm. But that being said, we're going to have to get there. It could be a 3-0, who knows? Either FraZe, steej. We've got a 80% favorite right now in chat going towards FraZe.
Yeah. I mean, FraZe, based on how the season's gone so far, is definitely the favourite. However, steej is currently leading with 2 AQLs. One, I believe, while FraZe and Dan are both only won one of them. If my memory serves me correctly.
There you go. So steej looking maybe to increase his lead. Get another title under his belt.
Prepare to fight.
Now let's see what FraZe can do here. So now push down to lower bracket.
3.
Yeah.
2.
I mean, for some players you might see fatigue from playing this long, but it's definitely not something FraZe is going to worry about with his 20-hour sets of practice.
I'll say FraZe, honestly, this sort of set could work really well for him if he does win this and go to the grand final. He's used to the long gaming sessions. Getting the heavy. steej, pushing in with the orb, and luckily for FraZe, actually, he falls off the edge there and hitting the rail on steej as he crosses over.
Yeah. We didn't really see what happened there, but steej wasn't able to get much damage. Oh, I like that rocket jump from steej just to make sure he doesn't take a rail.
See, FraZe just happy to sort of sit in this spot here. Really strong spot on this map, right? Like, you've got cover over the top of heavy, and you can keep that rail. And right now, like, steej, he hasn't been able to get over that side of the map to get rail yet, and FraZe is still just protecting it.
Yeah, and FraZe has that rail while steej has the LG, but the rail is definitely more important, especially when both players are playing slow like this.
Yeah. And this gives you a really good view of a lot of the map from this angle. FraZe pushing out, rail not connecting, Tribolt coming out, and again, see the same sort of deal. steej orbing straight onto him with the the direct from FraZe. Huge damage on steej, but not enough stack for him. And steej securing both arms, and even after that fight there, steej just finally managed to rotate. And then we're gonna have to see FraZe leave his sort of spot, which means there we go. Yeah, steej, after all that work of trying to deny rail from steej, he's now gonna have it.
And while he's going to be able to grab an LG here, steej is definitely in the driving seat. He's going to have Mega, and he should have time to get, at least to get some damage on heavy. FraZe has heard that. Oh, great defensive rocket. And yeah, good damage before securing heavy. FraZe has a slight stack advantage now.
Yeah. And it's amazing to see how the style level, we come back to this way, rockets are flinging everywhere. The second you try and say anything, they go crazy. I was about to say that they're playing this a lot more passive than the previous set, and then shots raining in, and but the actual trade come that should not have happened in FraZe. He does get the spawn at least, gets all the weapons, gets the Mega.
But a movement error from FraZe as he tries to slide up, and he's not going to be able to get any damage on heavy, or deny the rail. And wow, nice shot from FraZe. Neither player has LG here, so it's gonna be a bit of a messy fight. Peek is up.
Damage, but the self damage, and I like the nail swap there from Steej.
Yeah.
Just forcing FraZe into that corner, not allowing him to peek. Great shot there. Starting shotty, not at that range. Oh, nice orb up. Doesn't want to take that angle, especially against the starting shotty. But the speed of the stroke, he pushes straight in. The rail misses. And there we go. He finally gets something going with that starting shotty of his.
I think FraZe like, may have been railable in that fight even. Steej not able to connect, and FraZe, yeah, gets that frag.
What went from a very slow and calculated game is now sort of spun into a bit of chaos here. We never see another fight here. Great LG from FraZe, and Steej trying to fall back. Not able to get around the corner, and FraZe wants to take some more here. Steej, good rocket jump, avoids any rail angles.
And because of the time difference, FraZe is going to struggle to get to the Mega, but Steej's actually left it up completely. I think unaware of timing or maybe a bit too much respect shown, and FraZe has full control now. And yeah, I think he saw knew where Steej was approximately. Oh, what a shot. And
yeah, FraZe hitting some amazing damage here. Steej just rocket jumping out there. He gets one rail, but doesn't mean much. Still ages before this heavy comes up. Rocket jumps up, and really well played here from FraZe. Gets himself in position, catches Steej out. Good LG. All it'll take now is one rail, and yeah, there's no way Steej can get out in that situation. No orb up. Doesn't have a rocket. And FraZe 5-3 up.
Yeah. And like the last minute has just been FraZe. He's had full control, he's been reading Steej, he's got all his weapons. Now it's up to Steej to make something happen. Great tri-bolt for FraZe.
Oh, but the return from Steej as well is there. He's not healthy though, he can't really push in, but oh, the tri-bolt even more, and
Steej is still available. The trade got another trade.
Yeah, the tri-bolt trade, who gets the spawn?
Oh,
it's actually with FraZe, and if Steej pushes in here, that could be it. He could lose another one, but...
And Steej is probably not going to be happy with that. Oh, he
does actually get a nice rocket on FraZe there while he's around the corner, and again, really good rocket jump. Using the most of that range of passive.
Oh. Wow, that was risky.
Yeah, FraZe is ready for this angle, and the timing drops away. Rocket jump again, pushing over, and FraZe just with rail out.
And wow, that missed rail cost Steej a lot, as FraZe was railable before picking up that heavy. But amazing rocket from below, but FraZe hits all the LG, and he's just extending his lead. And nice route. I had
thoughts about that window coming into play there, but unfortunately doesn't. Great rocket from Steej, but FraZe just too stacked. And another frag in his name. 9-4, and FraZe right now, he's looking on fire. He's hitting shots. He's doing a great job of keeping these items in control, and Steve's just finding it hard to put in. Like, he's getting damage off in these fights, but unfortunately, FraZe has just been able to stack up point. Here we go. Here comes the orb. The rockets, I've got no idea what's even going on. Players bouncing everywhere. Orbs coming out, and again, we see another trade.
Honestly,
right now, this is all favouring FraZe, right? If these guys keep trading.
I mean, Steej will honestly be pretty happy with that, just because FraZe has more stack, and it's going to give him a chance to get into control as he pushes as well. Steej not reliable, so he can come in and gets the frag, and yeah.
Shut up.
He went all in, and when both players were finally equal again, he was able to do it. And great OG, but just misses the rail. FraZe low, takes another rocket, and wow, Steej wants this frag. He knows exactly where FraZe is, but FraZe just able to run.
This is good too, to be also able to ignite all this armor as well.
Yeah, but that drop from FraZe means Steej can go in without risking losing that heavy, but FraZe has done enough damage that Steej can't go for it.
Yeah, that was actually really good by FraZe. The amount of damage he got off in that fight. Steej will still be able to get this mega, but only just though. Rockets coming in from FraZe. He slides it across the floor, and the speed, Steej not ready for it.
I think Steej knew FraZe was going to come, but he wasn't ready for that much speed, and yeah, just a bit slow there, not able to get the damage, and FraZe 4 frags up with pretty good stack.
Yeah. We're coming down with 3 minutes to go. Steej missing a few rails here in this game.
Just not connecting might cost him.
Yeah, well, he's only hitting 31% right now, which is almost unheard of for Steej. He's one of those players who you always think really consistent aim, You know, he's always putting out damage, but
Oh, just caught the bounce pad.
The LG's fantastic. Great weapon swap too.
What a rocket from steej though, and just before Mega spawns, both players low. Oh no,
We're gonna see another trade maybe.
Yeah. And I think
he's actually opting to just stay there, and he wants to. He wants that item.
Yeah.
FraZe, maybe not realizing steej was on about 2 HP there for that fight. That's still like, but heavy goes to FraZe, which you know, arguably a lot more important in this situation. Because yeah, look, one rail, steej down with no armor.
And yeah, just any time FraZe hits an unreturned rail, it just gives him more time. steej has to restack, he can't get fragged. And when you're behind by this many frags with this little time left, just any second costs a lot.
Yeah, if you can put a 10-second delay on your opponent, especially now, it's like, again, what do you do in this situation? Now you've got to pretty much restack from scratch almost. Gets heavy at least, but puts himself in a real dangerous spot too. Pushing in, I think he knows at this point, he kind of has to make this play. He has to get a frag here. If he can't do something now, this match is over. And look at FraZe, he's just been standing here this whole time, and all this time, he's just running around on the wrong side of the map, and FraZe is happy to just keep sitting here. Having a little bit of picnic, and then just easy for him. It's not even difficult. 2 really clean rockets.
Yeah, FraZe looking strong. And I guess that's why he picked this map. He was confident he could take it, and he's shown he can.
Look how much damage he gets off in such a small amount of time as well there. With that, he's doing a really good job of using that Pika to get the maximum amount of damage off. He doesn't just... In fact, I don't think FraZe has actually like, launched his Pika really at all. It's all just been through the machine gun. And he gets so much damage through that machine gun on Pika. And then you follow that up with a rail, and you know that can be like 150 damage out there in such a small window.
Yeah, I'd say we haven't the orbs from steej haven't been great. We haven't seen any like we've seen a couple reposition as FraZe was in Pika mode, but he hasn't been able to kill him with any of these.
Yeah, and even those situations, there was a couple of times where even by doing that, he still didn't get that much value out of it.
Yeah, and FraZe taking that first map. Quite, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say pretty convincingly though, yeah. That's
definitely
played. One more frag for steej before the map ends, but map 1, going to FraZe, and looks like that loss to Dan hasn't phased him at all. Yeah, steej with 26% LG, 26% rail.
Not what you normally see out of steej. He's definitely a lot more consistent. Than that usually, but only the first map.
Yeah, well, we saw what happened after the first map against cammma. steej losing the first map and then coming back with a absolute vengeance and not dropping another map after that. So maybe he's going for the same style. But on a map like Blood Cove, where rail is such a powerful tool and can literally break, you know, it can be what wins or loses you Blood Covenant by hitting these rails, especially against the light v light.
Right, both players ready. And yeah, discussing the spawns, FraZe did get some better spawns off the mutuals. steej not too happy, but
I think even though with those situations, I still think like there was a couple of situations there which could have changed a few of the facts around, but I don't know if that would have been enough to turn that game.
But we've got a completely different map now, plays very differently, completely different champs, and we'll see how it goes. FraZe was able to take the Awoken that he lost to Dan. Can he do the same with Blood Cove?
Yeah, or is steej going to be able to win this round? He's got the speed now. before we seem to struggle a little bit against the speed of the Strog.
Prepare to fight. Round begins in 3,
Let's start on steej here.
1. Fight.
See what he can do. He's got fantastic slash movement. We've seen it before, and a little bit more of a stand start from him. He's actually going to go through here, get that armor, go to MG as well, which I like to see, and then puts a little bit of delay here on this item.
Yeah.
Against the FraZe will be the one who's got control of the rail side of the map, but
yeah,
he's actually dropped down immediately. He hasn't tried to defend this.
And yeah, steej just trying to get some defensive damage here before picking up rail. And great use of tribal, and steej's tribal has actually been amazing on Awoken. We probably should have mentioned it more. And to get a frag, and doesn't even need to go to a railgun to pick one up.
Yeah, FraZe delivering it straight to him, and FraZe just not able to connect with the rails in that situation, and it just allowed steej to keep pushing in on him, keep putting pressure on, and in the end we saw their heavy machine gun just lean him up, and good rail here from steej.
And he can jump right across, but he goes through TP. FraZe just no idea what's happening, and a great
fantastic play there by steej, putting that rocket up there as well. Let's try and make it, fake it out, make it look like he's going to be coming from that high ground, and worked perfectly. FraZe looking in the complete wrong direction. The LG came out.
Impressive.
Nice rail.
Nice rail from steej. He can still take one here if he wants to do this.
Taking heavy, but I think steej wouldn't have known that and isn't a betting man. As he backs off, gets his maker, has good stack.
Plus, if he gets railed in that situation, it puts him into a spot where he's got such a poor stack, and there you go, that's what happens. He takes 2 rails and a 3rd rail as well. And FraZe just going to start bringing this back. 2 to 1.
Yeah. Sometimes with blood cup, you can all make the right. You make all the right plays. The opponent hits 3 rails in a row, you're in trouble.
Well, this map comes down to a lot of that. Space is a lot of fights, especially in situations like this. You can hit your rails.
And either
coming out, nice rocket, and right now steej is in a spot where he can sort of pick which item he wants, both up, and FraZe he takes heavy. That will give steej. He knows he can go over towards that mega.
And FraZe does have to be careful because he's only got 1 railgun ammo left, and he doesn't have machine gun either. So
he opts to drop down here. Just trying to keep the pressure on steej in this situation. It looks like he's going to go over here. Finally restock that rail ammo.
Yeah. Oh.
No, he wants to take the aggressive fight here. steej going on the jump pad. The LG is not great, and there we go. There's the rail swap. No ammo. The tick of death comes out. Fortunately, he's got the speed. Gets out to the other side of the map. Gets that heavy, and with the inject, he's going to be in a really good spot to take another fight now. There we go. Here comes the inject. He gets the speed boost, as well as that overstack.
No, a bit of a movement error, but it's not going to cost him much.
See, here's steej now, and rails flying past each other's heads, giving each other a haircut, but no one taking any damage. And FraZe knows that steej hasn't gone up this jump pad yet. Trying to stress, and steej actually creeping up ahead on the side, trying to get an angle off. But FraZe not offering anything.
And we've got a situation where FraZe picks up this heavies, but he's... Oh, steej's actually not gone straight to Mega. And he's... Yeah, that might cost him, but... FraZe a bit slow there, and steej in a commanding position now. Should be a frag for steej. But
he was going to die either way there. But the rocket... Ooh, really good rail there from steej, and FraZe's got to be careful here, because... There we go, he gets that extra 25, followed by the inject. No longer available.
And if steej rocket jumps here, he can actually get to Mega in time, just because of slash speed. And no, just looking for damage, misses a rail, misses second, and... I mean, yeah, uncharacteristic misses from... each... And another one.
That machine gun damage was fantastic. He doesn't even need rail right now, and there we go. steej finally hits that shot. That shot probably actually saved his life. His FraZe would have made it up on the high ground if he didn't hit that, and another great fadeaway shot there.
Yeah, and steej is in trouble. And I mean, yeah, missed rails just cost you so much on this map. Any map, but this map in particular. Oh, FraZe coming in. Both
player really wants to take a rail in this spot, but steej does take one, drops out, and interesting drop here from FraZe. He actually catches him out, and a beautiful rocket launches him back, followed by a rail, and Missed rail on Steej off spawn. That would have been huge. We are tied up now, 2-2.
FraZe, he's got that weaponry advantage, but if he gets heavy here, he might lose out on Mega. And yes,
I don't think he'll be too worried about that because heavy for him right now is the key.
Yeah, with the inject up.
And Steej just pushing straight in, but FraZe with the direct rocket. For the rail, the inject comes out, and this should be a frag here, I think. Yeah, and Steej trying to protect himself with the trail, hiding in it. Not going to be enough in the LG, and another great spawn rail here from FraZe. And Steej now stuck in this low ground. He's really low. That's his cue to go. As soon as that missed rail comes out, he knows there's time for him to get out. He does.
And Steej should know he's going to be able to... He might be able to get Mega again. Oh, and yeah, FraZe actually has to be a bit careful with the tri-bolt here. But great rail from FraZe. He's just trying to hit another one. Steej just trying to keep him off with machine gun. And oh, FraZe actually lost the high ground here just before Heavy's coming up. And that's going to let Steej get railgun as well.
He's actually going to aggress out to this item. So really, this I think if Steej hits that either of those rails there, he should probably win that item. But again, just more misses from Steej.
Yeah.
Good rail from FraZe. Puts him over. The LG comes out. Good catch there from Steej.
Yeah.
This should be enough too for him to get this item. He will take a rail. Take two, and
yeah.
FraZe
The missed rails are just costing Steej so much here. Oh, both players low. Steej just isn't able to connect. But FraZe isn't able to finish him off. Steej should get this heavy. Great rocket, but Steej just surviving. Oh, and he actually gets him off.
I don't know how. Yeah, how does Steej live in that situation? That shotty from FraZe looked like it would have been good, and maybe one situation, where the starting shotty is going to help him, but nah, Steej, he doesn't want to get into range where that's going to come into play. Falls back and just waiting for this armor now.
And yeah.
Can't really push in on any of these major items on this stack. Now he's got position there on FraZe. He knows FraZe has just rocket jumped over to that rail.
Yes. Got both items for FraZe. And Steej in a bit of trouble, and he can't really get control by hitting rails because he's just not been hitting them so far. Oh, and he's got 2 seconds before Mega hits one. No longer railable, hits another, and suddenly, have to eat my words, as Steej looking to get a frag. Good shotgun. And that just shows as soon as he hit those rails, he just looked so much better. He was able to push in and finish FraZe.
And not only that, now he's taking the lead as well. Another rail, but FraZe with the return too. FraZe's just been so good on this return damage. He's just not allowing Steej to get anything unreturned.
Both players missing.
Anything though on those, and that missed rail. Beautiful chance for Steej to push in. LG out is strong, and great finish up with the rockets there to get that kill. And Steej is doing a really good job right now of capitalizing mistakes of FraZe. Like one missed rail, and he will push in like again. Right here, this should be a kill.
The shotgun.
Shotty not connecting, but FraZe I think knew that was it for him there. So.
But I think that will make it a lot harder for Steej to push this Mega. I say that as he hits a great rail as FraZe going in aggressive. And suddenly, contesting Mega isn't even a thought for FraZe anymore, as he's just got to back off and leave. But now he's gotten some stack. He goes up pad, another missed rail from Steej, and Steej just not connect that damage. Great tri-bolt though, and if that rail would have killed, yeah. Oh, the shotgun doesn't do much. The second one does hit though, and this should be a frag.
Good kill there from Steej. Good weapon choice.
Even though Steej's aims look shaky, everything else he's done has looked amazing. And I say that it's an amazing rocket jump. And FraZe just forced to push in 5 frags in a minute. It's pretty much impossible as Steej calls a GG, and really well played to Steej.
Yeah, turn that around there again, and it shows you, how good Steej is playing. Like even without hitting these, massive, ridiculous rails, he's still able to play really well around his opponent, take fights at the right time, and capitalize off his opponent's mistakes really well. And I think in the end, that's what won him a lot of those frags, and in the end, what won him that map.
Yeah.
Capitalizing off those little mistakes that FraZe made.
And we're 1-1, take it into CK. Yeah. Well, do you think we're going to see a pretty similar match to how Dan and FraZe went on this map? Or are we going to see something slower, something faster? What do you
I think it's going to be hard to say. Yeah, it's going to be hard to say. It's, I think steej is probably going to want to play, again, I've said it's the same two sets of matchups. Play just careful around his opponents who might start off a little bit slower, potentially here, and try and just sort of feel out how this is going to go. This might honestly work quite well in his favor, right? Because I feel like FraZe was definitely the one who was playing really well around the rail in that situation. So if steej can, remove that from the board, well, now that it's been removed from the board, steej might be able to take this advantage, get in close, right? Take these flame strike fights, and then his LG, right? Like that was really good in a lot of, like a few little bits, a bit wobbly here and there, but overall, really well done. Had LG out in the right situations as FraZe tried to push in, preventing a push. So if we can see him do that, especially when like Jewel gets popped, I can definitely see FraZe taking, steej taking this. But that being said, FraZe has just been hitting incredibly hard.
Yeah, I think
and
FraZe is going to want to be...
can just be such a... He can just destroy so quickly. So I think we'll see what FraZe is going to do here.
He's immediately going aggressive. But steej happy to just back off and take his heavy. Yeah, I definitely think FraZe has done a bit better off the start with a few more weapons. But great tri-bolt, and yeah, again, amazing tri-bolt from FraZe, but that's huge from steej, but that's huge MG from FraZe.
So yeah, steej is actually massively more stacked here. The flame strike comes out. All it takes is one more tick of damage, and there we go. I think that was a direct rocket.
Yeah. And wow.
Yeah, the flame strike zoning him off, doing good amount of damage, and FraZe will actually get to pick up this machine gun, which is actually pretty big for him. The steej might not be ready for him to have these ranged weapons.
But steej able to pick up this other armor. He's just sort of hanging around this LG area.
Wow, fantastic LG, fantastic machine gun, and steej got great defensive shots, and the flame strike as well, and FraZe, yeah, he's just sort of pushing into the fire, doing the extra damage, and he got steej low, but not quite to the point where I think he could have just pushed in. Yeah. Especially with that mega coming up then. It's meant to see, even after that fight, steej is healthy again, he's ready to fight.
But due to that, there's no item difference, so at least for FraZe, steej can't get full control. But he jumps in on, dropping on steej's LG, and that's just going to cost him a frag. And steej, he's in a pretty good position. FraZe actually has slightly more stack of spawn, but that's going to change once Mega picks up it. He's just not ready for FraZe's damage there, and...
Yeah, and there goes all of that Mega that steej just picked up, so now... Can we get a chance? In comes the Flame Strike again, and... Oh, unfortunate for FraZe, he does get the kill, but... That Flame Strike was just positioned so well that there was no way FraZe could have got out of that spot without taking damage. He does manage to skewer both of those rockets though, and
oh my god. Yeah.
Two great rockets and beautiful shots to swap the shotgun there.
So much
damage, but steej pushing in.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, actually, FraZe still manages to do quite well in that situation.
But steej is time to get machine gun and be shooting at this TP, but he opts to not be too aggressive here. FraZe gonna get back to 100. While steej is looking for the small armor. Both players not great rockets from FraZe, but the flame strike's actually done quite a bit of damage, and there's gonna be another kill for steej. Another mutual with that flame strike. Oh, and great LG from steej. Is he able to get mega? And while he won't be able to get heavy, he'll definitely get damage on it. Just tickle with the LG. But,
this is what we were saying about steej's LG before, right? Like, it's been really hard for FraZe to push in a lot of these fights because steej has just got LG out ready. But I'd say that great rocket there from FraZe. steej pushing through the TP, LG out, and Gary cleans up another one. And great direct there from FraZe. steej pushing in with the LG, but dropping straight on FraZe. Mega saves him.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we've seen FraZe's midi have been huge in both sets so far. Just gets frags, he really shouldn't with it, but steej able to get damage, and that was a lot of flame strike damage there. I think that's what really got the kill.
Yeah, well, steej was able to just sort of hold back, and wow, those defensive rockets. FraZe just pushing. He wanted the refrag. He knew how low steej was, and so he's got to be careful he doesn't get hit by these nails. And FraZe actually just pushes through with the nail gun.
Wow.
And steej not really ready for that, and steals away Mega, gets heavy for his trouble as well. Still doesn't have LG to fight this, while steej does, and he's trying to push in against that LG of steej, and that is dangerous.
Yeah.
A little bit of damage, not enough. The flame strike's back out again, and right now this flame strike is putting in so much work for steej.
I think maybe we need to see a bit more respect for the flame strike out of FraZe. He's just sort of trying to get in those close range fights, and he's just taking so much damage. But still no full control on this map, which is pretty common honestly for this map. But
That was 145 machine gun right there. That was incredible. FraZe having to go back up top, pick up those bubbles, and good rockets in return there from FraZe.
Yeah.
Also, steej off him. It should allow him at least to live for the moment. But steej, yeah, he knows what sort of stack he's on. There's nothing in that room for FraZe just because it's all been picked up, and
yeah,
trying to get this spam damage. He should get this, and he's probably not going to be able to rotate in time. But honestly, he's not too worried, I don't think, in this situation.
Yeah.
So he's up right now. He's got a great stack.
Is this small armor's going to spawn soon? Yeah.
And he's been doing really good range damage, chipping down FraZe's stack, and it's a good prediction shot, but FraZe not coming in, and just dives straight out. The flame shot comes out, doesn't connect, but it doesn't matter.
And enough
to launch him up, and then the midi to get the kill.
And steej, although he's only gotten one heavy this match, he's gotten 17 smalls to FraZe's 3. He's just shown great control over these small armors. And yeah, he's just fighting around this. He knows it's coming up. He actually, what a direct!
And FraZe, yeah, it's like, what's he gonna do in that situation? And he even popped dual wield in that. It's like, how often do you pop dual wield and you're the one who goes and then takes immediately 100 damage, and you just have to leave?
Yeah.
Fortunately for him, that was steej's last rocket, but FraZe is gonna be nowhere to try, and obviously he doesn't know that, so.
Yeah, and steej he's not taking any fights. He's content to stay on his side of the map, let FraZe push into him, and deal all the damage when he wants it. Oh, but that small armor will actually go FraZe's way. But wow, a lot of damage from both players, and that probably should have been steej's frag, but.
So I think the LG at the end there, FC's gone a little bit noodle, and then yeah, FraZe picking up those two 25 bubbles on the other side of the map there. Was probably enough for him to win that. And now finally, FraZe gets himself a Mega. Steej has been sort of controlling this side of the map for quite a long time. Flame Strike comes out, not able to connect. And I don't honestly hate that duel with there. He doesn't want to get caught going up that jump pad. Duel might be enough just to scare steej off, even though he'd already left.
And yeah, both players know where each other are. They're going to be playing a sort of game of chicken, deciding which item to go to. But this is good for FraZe. Oh, I say that as he just takes rocket and he's forced to back off the heavy. No, but he actually goes for this Mega. Very aggressive, and I don't think steej was expecting him to come back.
They're having the high ground there for steej, that he'll be able to get heavy.
Yeah.
We've sort of pretty much just seen an exact flip of the map of what we saw, prior. We've now got FraZe sitting on this side of the map, sort of keeping control of it.
But the difference is FraZe is the one who's got to push for frags, while steej can still play defensively. Just wait for FraZe push in. He's got this flame strike, and great flame strikes. FraZe actually falls in the lava as well, and finished off with tri-bolt.
So steej doesn't even wait for the fire to get the kill. He wants to get it here and now. Good damage from FraZe. Steej almost going down there, and FraZe popped the dual wield in that spot. Again, another dual wield that just hasn't really eventuated to much, and I like that from steej. Just hiding at that TP exit, waiting for FraZe to come and chase him.
He's actually just grabbing some rocket ammo there. He was gonna have a hard time defending without any ammo. But now he's got a bit. He can just play the time. He's got.
Yeah, there's only 2 minutes left. 4 frags to go. He just makes sure he can't put himself completely out of the map, because this is a map you can get a lot of frags really quick. What a midi! FraZe rocket jumping up. Good damage, but steej not able to get anything extra after that shot. A little bit more damage as he enters Mega Room. But not enough flame strike comes out, and the tri-bolt actually trying to go for the mid-air shots. And almost suiciding with the Tribolt too. And steej, he's just running, and FraZe is just trying to get damage in these situations. Does get the kill, but steej has done so much damage.
Yeah.
And there's still, what, minute and a half to go. And FraZe needs 3 kills, and he's on no HP. Like, there's such a tall order right now for FraZe.
Yeah.
He can do it. It's definitely doable. He gets the heavy. If he's quick to get over here, he should be able to get this mega end. Okay, steej going up the jump pad, but...
And steej is playing for time. He's only got a minute left, and FraZe has got to get 3 frags. I think FraZe wanted to try and get damage before picking up that mega, but now he's got to make a play.
I like the rocket jump to try and get in close. And he is chasing here, but look at that nice defensive rocket direct. And it's just forced him back. And actually peeking out with the machine gun. FraZe wasn't ready for it. And steej actually going down in that situation.
Yeah.
It's given FraZe a chance, really. Like, he's back to 100 now due to all that.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much ammo here. Good amount of damage on steej. He's got the shotty here. He could even go through the TV. Alright, doesn't need to.
And steej
Just
sort
one
of
frag to go.
steej didn't need to take either of those fights.
No.
And he might actually be caught out of rockets here. But a lot of damage from both players, and steej able to finish it. He's so low though. 2 frags for FraZe is definitely doable. steej is trying to back up. Starting machine gun, I believe. He's trying to make the read, and anytime steej uses to double back it. Rocket.
Outplay, yeah. FraZe still just trying to run there. And
And steej calling the GG early instead of FraZe. Wow.
a bit of a disrespect there. You should always, you should never do that. But, you know, he knows he's got the win, so...
Damn,
a little bit of banter between these two. But no, really well played by steej. There was a moment there, right, once... When steej made those 2 fights that FraZe got, I thought, there's no way we get this overtime here. There's no way FraZe brings this back. But... Fortunately for him, it's just steej did enough damage in each of those fights that allowed him to. It's meant FraZe couldn't stack up to how he would like to then try and go for these like quick refrags.
But definitely those last 2 frags steej gave FraZe. He didn't need to take those fights, and it gave FraZe a chance to get in. But well played from steej to hold it off in the end there.
It was really impressive from him, and yeah, I think he just played around that flame strike so well. steej did.
Yeah, like we saw multiple just FraZe dying to the fire, even though he killed steej. Like he'd done that damage, he'd done well, but the flame strike was enough that FraZe.
Yeah, what did we have? What, 2, maybe 3?
Yeah.
Mutual kills there between rockets and flame strike, and just each time that happened, like if steej is in the lead, he doesn't mind, right? It means they'll probably both get an item. You know, in not all those situations, you know, steej was the one in control. Right? FraZe might have been the one. He's got the stack. He's ready to take the fight, and steej was just hitting such great defensive damage. It made it almost impossible for FraZe to get a clean frag, which is, I think, in the end, what really did end up winning that for steej.
Yeah.
But we've done it though, Shrulez. We got to these are the 2 maps we were talking about, right? The ones that were things start getting a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Galena Sorlag.
I mean, this sort of matches both these players. We saw FraZe trying to be a bit more aggressive while steej is a bit more defensive, and these champs both lean into those playstyles. But, I mean, if steej is allowed to play defensively as Galena on Ruins, is hiding his totems, playing plus back, being able to get those heals, I think that's going to be huge for him.
So FraZe is going to have to be really on the ball here when it comes to preventing this triple totem from coming up. Because if you get the triple totem up as Galena, that stack advantage you get as the heavy is pretty much negated, right?
Yeah.
So you're almost playing on even playing fields, except the Sorlag is a lot easier target to hit. But that also being said, in return, if FraZe does want to get in close like he did on CK, steej doesn't have that burst damage like he did on the Death Knight to push FraZe back. He's got nothing. He can throw a totem out, and you know he might get a little bit of damage off that, or it'll get destroyed before it even procs. So FraZe could, this more aggressive style of FraZe could potentially work here. Well, let's start with FraZe. See how he's going to go about playing this. Gets heavy spawn.
Yep.
And I'm sure he's going to go straight through to Rail and LG.
And we see the starting shotgun once again. This map, you don't see as much a shotgun, partially because it's just sort of out of the way to get picked up. And instant totem taken down, and
That's
all
good.
weapons.
He needs to keep on that.
Yeah, all weapons for both players. On action.
And steej again with a good LG to open up these fights. Not a huge amount of damage, just enough to push the Sorlag back.
Yeah.
And
Seeing both players, neither really wants to take this full on, and 5 HP FraZe as he takes 2 rails. Gets that mega, but this is an easier. Oh, I say that, what a rail from FraZe, and steej has to be careful even though he's just picked up heavy.
But he's got a totem down there immediately, so like, look how quickly steej has managed to get back up that stack. So like, pushing straight in, eats the direct, and yeah, I think maybe FraZe just wasn't prepared for the Glen to be back to 100 after that initial fight. And Spit comes out, not going to connect.
Great, that was a great rail from FraZe, and steej just has to play scared here. The totem is honestly huge. Both players missed their rail, but that means steej is going to secure mega while FraZe gets heavy for free, but he doesn't have much health.
Oh.
steej has to be
Good shot
careful.
there. Both players really low.
Yeah. Yeah. But FraZe is going to come up top after taking that small armor. steej just playing defensively, honestly, sort of around his own totem. Oh, that TP gives information. That is a big rail miss.
At least just due to the timing of these items, it means he's going to be able to get down here, take this heavy, and escape without taking damage. And this is good from steej now. He knows that sort of FraZe is the one who's got a bit of an advantage. FraZe actually finding that totem that just went down. And steej, he just wants to get these totems up, I think.
Yeah. He doesn't want to take a fight, take a rail first. And you don't want to lose a fight around these major items just because you could risk someone getting full control. Nice rail, but steej still got to be careful. He's actually looking for this mega. No, he's just listening. He hears crazy, and suddenly now this is interesting. Even though steej gets his heavy, it now opens up heavy for the next rotation. Definitely.
One thing to also keep note there too is that he actually got healing from his totem before, like about 4 HP or so before I went down to that. Once he took that rail, he couldn't use the totem just to stack back up.
Oh.
Now we're gonna see FraZe coming. They're fine here, but he's not able to connect the rockets. There we go. Finally, it's rocket. But look how low he is after that fight.
And steej is about to get triple totems up as well. And he doesn't even need this mega. And he's taking this fight, and wow, massive damage. He's still got mega overstack. But FraZe managed to get the heavier spawn. So much damage from FraZe just for the starting shotgun off spawn. And yeah, wow, FraZe just able to get in and take that frag.
They did lose a couple to get there, but yeah, he has got it in the end. And he's actually caught steej out here. He doesn't have rail himself though, so he can't go for that. Oh, rocket jumping up, and steej missing that shot. FraZe getting caught on the pillar.
And FraZe actually drops down. I don't know if steej will realize this. Okay, he's made that noise. steej should get mega.
Oh, the rocket jump up. It's not going to quite be quick enough, and missed rail. And good nail spam there from steej. Prevents FraZe from pushing in.
And no damage from that spit either. So FraZe is not going to be happy with that. Miss rail from steej. FraZe just wasn't ready, but just lucky steej misses.
And I do like how FraZe, he has been like actively keeping his eyes on these totems. Oh, he does actually run straight into that one. Wasn't expecting 2 to be right there. Not too big of a deal though in this situation.
And yeah, steej just grabs heavy. He doesn't really want to contest this mega because it looks like he does have overstack.
So there'll be no time for him to get there anyway. So he's going to setting the trap here though, and not a huge amount of damage, but there we go. He hits the second shot. The spit comes out. steej is hurting, but the bleeding won't do enough. steej will get out, and FraZe. Great rail. That probably saved his life here. The LG was almost good, not quite enough. And steej barely hanging on again. And FraZe, we're actually sitting up on the high ground here. He doesn't have the weapon to fight at this range. He's going to opt to stay up on the top.
And he's going to get mega,
but the one who can get this heavy. But yeah, FraZe getting mega. But again, it's a situation where as the Galena, you're going to be happy to sit there and trade out, take heavy, allow your opponent to take the mega if need be. You've got those totems there.
And good read by both players, knowing where each other are. steej, oh, he missed that rocket. He's taken a lot of spit and he sat back on it, and yeah, he's just got to back off, get health bubbles. Luckily, mega and heavy at the same time, so we will be able to restack, but the large stack advantage for FraZe, and misses that rail he really shouldn't have.
I will not grant you that privilege.
See, up
Seen
in
all.
the high ground here, FraZe just playing quiet. Steej, the spam was correct, but FraZe actually dropping down as well, so both players have opted to drop down here. Both items on pretty much the same timer.
Yeah.
But with FraZe being on that side of the map here,
FraZe
he's
actually
just going to
going?
straight through. Which is good for him, he's finally got some more armor now. So Steej, missed rail again.
It's an interesting choice for Steej to go for Mega there, because if he went heavy, that totem wouldn't have been destroyed, and he would have been about to get overstacked. Oh, great direct from Steej, but he chucks his totem on the spit, which means he won't be able to get the heal from it. Oh,
And there we go. Good swap there from Steej.
Yeah.
Knowing his opponent stacked really well after hitting those couple of rails, he can just push straight up, and he's got that totem as well, sitting in that high ground position.
oof, and I think he wasn't confident enough to run straight to heavy. He was a bit because he knew FraZe was coming for him.
Oh, we saw FraZe out of the jump pad. FraZe not clipping the ledge, but he's actually hitting a little bit of nail damage there. Probably enough to keep him alive, and one more nail will do it, but opts to stop to the rail, and
Yeah.
that'll get the kill.
But
FraZe,
FraZe
he's
so
not helping at
low.
all. He can't pick these
Yeah.
angles, and yeah, Steej. As soon as that spit came out, right, he knew the exact position. Steej was already aware that he was up top. But like 8-3 now, and
Yeah,
3 minutes left in this match.
this is not looking great for FraZe. He needs to win this map to stay in the AQL. And Steej just has his lead. He's happy to play defensively here. And yeah, I mean, they're just absolutely happy to play defensively. But FraZe just coming in with rockets and Steej not hitting too much damage. What
That
a
direct to finish off there. If the FraZe keeps pushing, he should get a frag hit, but the totem there, not
Yeah.
quite enough to put him above rail, and yeah, he will have seen that as well. FraZe is not healthy himself, but gets that item in potentially. Oh, Steej, yeah.
I don't know if Steej just spotted Mega. In fact, Steej.
Yeah, he actually left it up there for him, and a bit of a gift there for FraZe, a bit of a lifeline for him, but he's not connecting these rails, and he's gonna walk into that totem, and that's putting him really low now, and opts to go back to pick up that 25. It's no longer railable. But that's the delay there. It's pushed him now away from this next item. Steej, again, with the time, he's just happy to sort of try and slow him down. Ideally hit these rails to keep the damage coming. Catches him with LG again, and a little bit of shoddy too towards the end.
Yeah.
And Steej still running. FraZe, he's the one on really low stack, but Steej doesn't care. He's just going to keep going.
Yes.
He doesn't need to take any of these fights. And again, we're going to see him. That's what he was trying to do last time. You get that one rail off,
You're
and that's
back
just
off.
stop FraZe
Yeah.
from doing anything. And there's another 20 seconds now at least before FraZe can do anything. Steve's actually just dropping straight down and straight into 2 rockets from FraZe, but surviving on 7 HP. And there comes the GGs from FraZe. 9-4. Really, really well played by Steej. And that was a perfect way to play at the end there. You know, it might not be the flashiest way. It might not be, you know, the most interesting. But it was the...
There's a correct way.
It was the correct way to do it, exactly. It allowed him to keep getting damage off on FraZe, which means that FraZe can't push. Every time he hits one of those rails, that stops. That's another 10, 15, 20 seconds worth of delay that Steej just created. And all that time, you saw him, he didn't even really go for those major, except for that last one, which is a bit crazy balls in. But, no, really, really well played, Steej. Full credit to FraZe as well. He played really good throughout those sets.
And yeah, amazing.
Yeah, a bit of a, maybe a bit of a surprise there. You know, FraZe getting knocked out both by Dan and then Steej to be
yeah. Oh, the topping groups.
Position. Yeah.
The Steej and Dan will be very happy with that. I'm sure there'll be some bragging later. But before we get to that, we're gonna go into our grand final.
Yeah. So now we've got Dan versus Steej.